Okay, this is the fourth presentation of my session in the semester one, and today I have got a topic from the paper number 104, Victorian Literature. And here I am going to share my slides with you, my presentation. So I hope it is visible in your screen. I think, is it? Okay. So here, the topic of my presentation of today is thematical comparison to the post-independence India, with the special reference to Jude the Obscure novel. So, how the themes are discussed in the novel, or the themes that we can see while reading or examining the novel Jude the Obscure, and how can we compare those things into our prevalent India or after we got independence in 1947? So what kind of changes are made, keeping in mind the reference of these themes? So let us move ahead to the further slide. Yeah, first I have prepared a brief intro or introduction or abstract. So what about the novel? So it was a novel written by Thomas Hardy in the year 1894. So it is kind of late Victorian era, 1894, and first began as a magazine serial in December 1894 and was first published in a book form in 1895. So it was serialized before being published. It was serialized in 1894, and after a year's time in 1895 it was published. Reflects autobiographical elements as Hardy himself had worked as a mason, just like the protagonist Jude Fowley. So Jude Fowley is the protagonist or the main character in this novel, and he works as a mason in the city, in a town. And here we find the autobiographical element as the writer or the author of the novel Hardy was himself a mason by occupation. And the fourth point is the novel is concerned with issues of class. So there are several issues are discussed here. The first one issue is class. So how does class matter in marriage, and what is the role of class in one's worth, when you decide one's kind of thing that okay, this person is coming from there, so he or she should be like this, so that. So this is called class. And a class here, rich and poor class. In India, it is said by sir that if India, had it been in India, then it would have been the caste instead of class. So education is also there, though. If you want to educate yourself, then you are supposed to become, or you are supposed to belong to so and so class, that you should be rich or you should know Latin and Greek language. So it is also described or discussed here. And the third one is religion. So how religion affects one's individual freedom, one's individual integrity is also even governed by religion. It is also discussed here. And mortality and marriage. So how what kind of marital or matrimonial notions were there in Victorian society? It is also very much profoundly described here. And this novel was preceded by the very much famous novel Tales of D'Urbervilles in 1891, and succeeded by, or so after this novel, Jude the Obscure, the well-beloved, was written by Thomas Hardy in 1897, after 2 years of the publication of this text or novel. And it is regarded by Hardy himself, as he wrote in the preface, it is a tragedy of unfulfilled aim that Jude, the protagonist, tries to educate himself in a university in a nearby town. So, but he fails. He fails to do so because he is not that much rich to bear the brunt or to expense for this for his studies. So and Virginia R. Heyman is a critic and observes Jude's world as the most repellent of all Hardy's fictional places. So whatever Hardy wrote in his novels, but this kind of this novel or this place is this place means this setting in which this novel is set is kind of most repellent. Then anybody would read, then they will in first place they will try to avoid this novel because it is kind of so much realistic that anybody cannot bear the truth or reality described in this. And the Marxist critic is there, Terry Eagleton. Terry Eagleton rejects the conventional reading of the text as the tragedy of an oversexed peasant boy. That it doesn't mean that everybody should read by the point of view that okay, it is the tragedy of a peasant boy. It is not so, but you are supposed to cultivate new point of views while reading. So these are the this is rather the introductory part, and let us move at the four themes. The very first one is marriage. matrimonial dichotomy in post-independence society. Society means here Indian society. So what happened after we got independence, and what kind of marital changes are there? And the second one is fate, poverty ratio. I have taken some statistical evidence from various websites that I have mentioned in my references. So it is there. Poverty ratio in India since 1993 to 2019. So what was the condition of our poverty ratio? It is kind of economical thing, economical aspect we can compare to with to India. With the reference of this novel. And women in society. So what was the place of women in Indian society after we got independent, and even before we were not free from Mughal invades, and then after then British invades. So we had some kind of notions that women should be like this, or women should be wear so and so things. And the fourth one is religion. How religion changed, or what are the notions, or what are the dogmas of religion changed throughout this period from independence to now post independence. So religion is the enemy of life with reference to later killers. So we have this famous phrase or an epigraph to this novel. It is the later killers, and it is we will discuss in further slide. Okay. So the very first theme is the marriage. So now, according to Diksha Bharadwaj, so I have taken an article from internet. It is the print, very famous e-magazine or an Indian online newspaper. Here, Diksha Bharadwaj discusses that as global divorce rate rises. Now here I have shown the contradiction that now there was a kind of study that in which nation there are more divorces. Then the India comes very low. That there are no divorces only. I have written that Diksha Bharadwaj describes that as global divorce rates rise, studies show that India ranks the lowest in the world. That India is at the lowest part. That there are no divorce. In 13 marriages, there is only one divorce in the whole of our country. If we count per capita, the ability, and the another she says that the ability to dissolve marriage is a privilege. Now it is very contradictory. If you say when there is no divorce at all, you are indirectly saying that there should be, or there must be love between two couples. They got engaged. So, but why then? Here is the domestic violence. At the same time, we have domestic violence rate higher, more, and so it means that either women are enjoying the relationship, or men, or either they are suffering. And why they are suffering, we will discuss in the theme of religion. Okay, so the ability to dissolve marriage is a privilege most Indian women do not have. So they cannot, because they, even if they are suffering in the relationship, they do not have quality time. So they cannot take kind of divorce just because of society. They feel insecure if they take divorce. Then if they go into society, the economic financial support will not be given to them, because they are not married to, or they are not engaged to anyone. So this kind of mentality still exists here, and it is shown by, or it is rather depicted here by the means of statistical evidence. And the reason are both social and economic. So if you want to exist, or if you want to stay in society, then you must be socially and economically supported. Okay. Social, now society does not need, because now the ideas and changes are there, that you can only be financially secured, everything will be taken care of. And a staggering number of Indian women are not financially independent. Now still there is lack of education in our country. So most women are still caged, we can say, within the four walls of home. And yes, which limits their options severely. The social stigma of being a divorcee is worse than being unhappily married. Then there are children. Now then there are children means you have a kind of responsibility, and the social responsibilities, though you cannot take divorce. And another I have taken an article from NFHS National Family Health Survey. All these articles are there in my references. They are not that much old, but they are only a years ago, 2019 or 2020. They are dealing with that. So more than a quarter of women surveyed in 7 states said they had experienced domestic violence. So here we take proud, or most Indian take proud, that okay, the divorce rate in India is very much low. It means there must be love between couples. But now here at the same time, this contradiction is there. That why the more than a quarter of women, or more than if you take 100 women, the 25 women are still suffering for domestic violence. How come? then where is the problem? This should be identified as soon as possible. Okay, so it is there, and here are some causes that women whose economic status equals or exceeds. Now it is here that if you are earning money more than your husband, if you are a woman and earning your money more than a husband, then husband's ego will get hurt. He will think, okay, no, you are my lady, or you are my wife, then a spouse, then you should be a bit lower than me. They will think at how it is happening, because the causal evidence that why it happens, the causal evidence is that such women have a more assertive role in decision making. So if they are running, so it means they have their own place in the house in decision making also. And men use violence to re-establish the patriarchal power balance. So men uses violence, that you are not supposed to go outside of the home and earn money by yourself. Whatever you want, ask me ask me for that. I will provide you, but within the limitation of this house and within the limitation of society. Whatever I tell you, you have to do. All these things are there. But a patriarchal power, he wants to establish his patriarchal power by beating the woman who is more prodigious, you can say, or talented than him. So why this happens? Where are the roots of these kind of things? Here I have taken very ancient roots of the authority patriarchal notion. So where does this notion come from? Where does this patriarchy come from? Now if you go, I have taken a scripture from Indian scripture. It is Manusmriti, and here it is the publication date and all the things. Now first let us go by 3 points. That Manusmriti serves as the purpose to order social affairs. So what is Manusmriti? In fact, it is a kind of a dictum or a paradigm that how a society should run or how society should work. And the second point is men are given privilege over choosing a person for marriage. Now men are privileged that they can choose whatever what kind of person. So it is written here. These are the adhyay, or you can say chapter 3, and from sloka 9 to 13. There it is there that what kind of women should be there to marry. Men are given privilege, but there is no mention of for women to what kind of men she choose. There is no mention at all. But now men are given a privilege that, okay, you are supposed to choose this woman. You are not supposed to marry with this and this kind of woman. So you will find, if you can zoom here, you will go there. And the third thing is, whereas women are treated as the object of pleasure for men. So they are only the pleasure, or they are only the object of pleasure for men. So we have kind of love that one type of love that manic love, in which or rather men treats woman as a thing for joy. That she is no more a life like him, but she is a thing of pleasure. That she is not allowed to go outside and play a kind of whatever she wants, whatever she do, or a man surveils him where she goes, her whereabouts, where are they. So it is a kind of thing that men are given privilege over the preference of women, but women are not in our ancient scriptures here. And at the same time, we have to remember that in this scripture or in the same adhyay or chapter, the verse number 56 or 5, it says that we have heard that common phrase that yatra naryastu pujyantu tatra ramante devta, means that wherever there is the worship of women, the divine or the gods are happy with that person. So it is also taken from that. So it is kind of dichotomy here. So what kind of lessons we take, it depends completely upon us. Okay, so here I have put a graph there, but it is a kind of why I do not know, it got just disappeared. It's okay. So it was a statistical or graphical evidence of how our poverty ratio got decreased. First from 1993 to 2012, it was kind of decreasing, but now once again it was rising after 2012. The good days. Okay, so it was rising. Why we should question as a person, as the person, or as a civic person. Civic sense must be there. As sir was telling that, okay, so here, as fate seems to be the driving force for Jude, as like the fate is very much relevant aspect or the matter to talk for poor in India. So we cannot think of poor, our poor. Now we say, Vivekananda said this very good thing, that Siva Jnana Jeev Seva. Now, if you want to serve God, serve the people or serve the poor of your country. Now we just on his birth anniversary or we just say that, okay, this he said, now forget and do the things we do casually. It is not like that. And here is the women in society. Now, first we will go through the theme or what kind of women is depicted in the novel, and after that we will compare to this Indian construct. And it is just a 4th May 2020. In this also here, it is the article published in Gujarat, I think Ravi Purti, 4th May 2021. Okay, so how does a woman is described? How is woman described in the novel? Is as like Sue Brided, we have the ladies like Chutni Devi from Jharkhand. So here it is full HD. You can zoom out it, you can read it. You just go through once. It is very good story, and it is very much inspiring story for the women in India. And she is running NGO for women who still are suffering from such kind of superstitious beliefs by people. So in Jharkhand, India, who fought against social injustice. So she had been a victim for social injustice, superstition, that she was deemed a witch by the local people and of rural and even urban regions. And another thing, we can compare Sue's character to the character of Elizabeth Bennet. We have that Elizabeth Bennet's character in Pride and Prejudice, from Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice, written in 1813. So before this novel written in 1895, in early Victorian age, 1813, it was there. The Pride and Prejudice was written by Jane Austen. So Hardy might have taken reference from this character, who knows? Okay, for being exceptionally modern women and alike Elizabeth, an obstinate, headstrong girl, deemed by Lady Catherine de Bourgh. So Lady Catherine de Bourgh scolded that you should not allow my nephew to marry with you or to accept you. So that is why she tells that you are an obstinate, headstrong girl, because you reject me as an authoritative person. So okay. So here I have taken this here in Gujarat. It is written that 500 સ્ત્રીઓની જીવન દાતા Chutni Devi. Now Chutni Devi is a kind of life giver, or you can say wise leader for 500 ladies in India, or okay. So if you go through this, you will get that, and it is very much like now she is living life. It is not so that it was 200 years ago and 300. No, it is right now, or 4th May it was written. This article, 2020 4th May. And yeah, religion. Now the last theme is religion. Now if you can see here, you will find that the Christianity and the question. Now question means non-conformist. So there is a cult or a sect then in English people, that there are non-conformists. So whatever they are telling, we will not conform with that. We will question, we will argue, we will object that. So here Christianity seems to have been questioned by the non-conformist, or the people who are rational or who are logical in the sense. So here we have that the letter killeth, but spirit giveth the light. So it is taken from the New Testament, and Paul the Apostle speaks that the letter killeth, but spirit giveth the light. But now it is also taken the first here, the letter killeth. Only this part is taken as an epigraph to the novel, and but the spirit gives light means the letter killeth means if you obey whatever is written word by word, then it will it is sure to punish the people. But the spirit gives light. Now, if you go through the spirit or the sense, what is written, or we have the Gujarati word marm, marm, or the indicated meaning. If you just function by that, then you will have no problem. So, and the man proposes, God disposes. It is kind of a German philosopher was there. He told this man proposes God. He was a 13th century. I forgot the name. Kempis. Yeah, a Kempis. What kind of name was that? So now, in Jude the obscure, Christianity and the dictums of the Holy Bible seem to be questioned. Whence you wonders why Jerusalem is honored above Athens or Rome. So Athens or Rome, why they are taken here in comparison with Christianity or Jerusalem? That Athens or Rome are the birthplace or the cradle of philosophy. Cradle means cradle. There were you can say Socrates or all kinds of great philosophers were there. And now, and Jerusalem was the birthplace for Jesus Christ. Now, so see, indirectly she telling us that we should be more reasonable than being religious. So here, Athens and Rome is represent that the philosophy or the branch of logical evidence. But why? Whereas Jerusalem is representing the religious belief without any kind of evidence. Yes. The notion of divine retribution is seen when little Father Time kills his 2 infant siblings and suicides. This incident results into Zeus' conversion out of fear in Christianity. So now what happens at the end, or at the you can say the falling action according to Freitex, this kind of triangle. little father time along with his two siblings, little infant siblings, kills them in suicide. So now this is thought as the divine retribution, that okay, God has done bad to me because I haven't believed in him or her. Yeah, particularly him, because it was a Christian belief by Shiv Brighted. Now Shiv Brighted we have earlier seen that she was alike headstrong and obstinate but exceptionally modern woman, but now she becomes religious. Why? Because she thinks that okay, I have infidel to God, I have disobeyed God, so he made me suffer with this kind of pain and suffering. So he becomes eventually a Christian or a religious person in the novel. So it is very bad. And Hardy portrays Christianity as life denying and belonging to later that killeth. So it is life denying. Why life denying? That if you want to hear, it is said that if you do not marry by the Christian orthodoxy, then you are not married. In fact, though you can live along with each other. So it is kind of life denying, that even if you want to live the life, come to the church and take the certificate from that. Only then and then you will be labeled as a kind of authentic life on the planet. So it is life denying, that it will not allow you to flourish on your own. You will have to take certificate from the other people. So here it is the religion thing, and these are my resources, and I'm concluding with this. Thank you so much.
Yes, questions to him?
Nirav, you give that ratio of divorce in India. So you are educated. So I will question you yourself. According to you, if any woman not comfortable in his family of that in-laws or marriage, she can demand his divorce or not?
You are telling that any woman is not comfortable in her family or in-laws home, that she can demand. You use that word demand. I think that she should not demand. She just divorced it. Yeah, she should not demand, because it is your right. Right cannot be demanded. It is always snatched out because it is yours. She should not demand. She should snatch it from the others are holding that. Are you satisfied or any other doubt? Thank you. Yeah.
What elements make Jude the obscure modern novel? What elements make Jude the obscure modern novel?
So your question is, what elements are there which make Jude the Obscure as a modern novel? So a very first thing, that modern novel is a thing that deals with technological issues. That we have technological revolution, industrial revolution, and particularly in keeping in mind the reference of Victorian age, that there was industrial revolution. Okay, so education was at its forefront, but what about the poor? Now, Jude is an allegorical representation of the poor or the lower class of England. So it is very much a modern novel, because some kinds of themes, that religion, marriage, and social notions, political even is considered in that novel. So is there anything that you would like to ask me, or are you satisfied with that? Say yes if there any doubt, then I can go explain. I will explain it. Okay, so good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay.